This classroom will cover game in progress information, which will go over AllSport 5000 controller operation. Among the control room operators, the AllSport operator will be responsible for entering game in progress information, such as home and guest team scores. What does the AllSport operator do? During pregame, the AllSport operator will be responsible for turning on power to the AllSport controller prior to game time, starting a new game, entering the correct sport code, and entering the home and guest team names. During the game, the AllSport operator will be responsible for starting and stopping the game clock, starting and stopping the play clock, entering the score, entering timeouts, quarter, possession, and more, as well as entering player foul points information. Obviously, some tasks are sport-specific, but general operation of the AllSport controller is similar among sports. This is what the AllSport controller looks like. It consists of 6 main elements, which include the menu navigation, the LCD, the numeric keypad, the sport-specific insert, the time control, and the horn start. The menu navigation allows users to select from a list of options specific for each sport. The up and down arrow keys scroll through the menu list. The LCD element is where you will find your game information, such as main clock time and home and guest team scores. You will also utilize the LCD when editing your settings in the menu navigation, such as entering home and guest team names and entering the amount of time in each period or quarter when applicable. The numeric keypad is used to enter in values such as main clock time or number of quarters when applicable. Sports inserts allow a single console to control multiple sports. Depending on the sport you are scoring, you will receive a sport-specific insert for that particular sport that can be inserted into the opening on the left side of the console. The controller changes its settings to score a particular sport once the sport code is entered. The sport code is found on the upper left side of the insert and is entered using the menu navigation and numeric keypad. Time control allows users to set the main clock time, set the clock to count up or count down, as well as starting and stopping the clock. If a horn was purchased with the system, the horn control allows the user to set the horn to sound automatically or manually. Here's an example of a typical AllSport setup for basketball. The AllSport controller controls the fixed-digit scoreboard and shot clocks via serial communication. Scoreboard and shot clock information is updated immediately as the operator enters the data into the AllSport controller. There is the option to have remote controls for a separate operator to control shot clock time and/or game clock time. Now let's talk about basic AllSport setup. During pregame, the AllSport operator will turn on power to the AllSport prior to game time. Next, during pregame, ensure that the correct sport code is entered, which will start a new game. Once the AllSport is powered on, it will ask if you would like to resume game. Push the Clear No button. It will then prompt you to select code. The sport-specific code can be found on the sport insert on the upper left corner. Once the correct code is entered, you may push the Enter Yes button and a new game will be opened. If you need to bring up a new game any other time, you can go to the menu button and when it prompts New Game, push the Enter Yes button. The final step of pregame operation is entering in the home and guest team names. First, remove the sport insert so you have access to the keyboard underneath to enter in the team names. Next, push the menu button and push the up arrow until you see Select Guest. Then hit Enter Yes. Now, enter in the guest team name using the keyboard. Once completed, push Enter Yes. Next, push the menu button twice, then push the up arrow until you see Select Home. Then hit Enter Yes. Now enter in the home team name using the keyboard. Once completed, push Enter Yes, and finally push menu to bring you back to the new game. More specific info about setting up pregame information, such as entering in team rosters, can be found in the All Sport manual. During the game, the All Sport operator will update game in progress information, such as starting and stopping the game clock, entering the score, timeouts, possession, and more. Keep in mind that some examples will be given with a specific, but general operation for each sport is similar. First, to enter the clock time, push the Set Main Clock Time button on the time control. Next, using the numeric keypad, enter in the amount of time in the quarter or period, then push Enter Yes. Once the game begins, push the Start button to start the clock. For any breaks in the game, push the Stop button to stop the clock. Once the break has ended, you may push the Start button to resume the main clock time. As mentioned before, these steps can also be done with a remote control. You will notice that there are two areas on the sport insert, one for the home team and one for the guest team. For baseball, you can increase the scores for the home and guest team by pushing the Runs +1 button. For football, you have the option of increasing the home and guest team scores by 1, 2, 3, or 6. To enter timeouts for the home and guest teams in basketball, push the Timeout button for the appropriate team. You will be able to select whether it's a full or partial timeout. As soon as you select full or partial, the clock will count down the appropriate time. It will automatically subtract the timeout from the timeouts left. To change the possession indicator in football or basketball, push the Possession button for the appropriate team. The LCD will read Home Possession On or Guest Possession On, and the indicator on the fixed-digit scoreboard will switch immediately. These are some of the main steps in updating game in progress information. More information on detailed and sport-specific operation can be found in the All Sport manual.